Covenant believe that what they call the Silent Cartographer is somewhere under this island. The Cartographer is a map room that will lead us to Halo's control center. The island has multiple structures and installations. One of them contains the map room.
We're approaching the LZ. It's gonna be hot. Get set to cut out quick. Touchdown! Hit it, Marines!
And hit it we shall, because with an intro like that, how can you not be hyped? Hello everyone, and welcome to Halo Combat Evolved. And Evolve Combat it certainly did. It changed the entire FPS scene when it came out in 2001, and honestly I think in a lot of ways it still hasn't been matched. I mean, just look at all the things that are going on in this introduction to this level alone. We're riding in on the back of our Pelicans, another one right behind us. We've got our guys in the back flying over this insane alien landscape while we can see these squads of enemies moving around on the beach before we come down. Back in the day, we were so used to just being a lone super soldier going down corridors of generic enemies, and they were a nice power fantasy, yes, but with that epic soundtrack in the background, these squads that actually work together in intelligent ways, having to actually strategize how we're going to take them while still fulfilling that arcadey power fantasy, it is just so incredible how much is going on while keeping the gameplay so accessible. But, of course, this channel being what it is, this is not the reason why I'm playing it today. What I'm playing this for is a couple levels from now, but I really think that you need to play the lead up to it in order to understand why it was so impactful. And those of you who are familiar with this game already know what I'm talking about, and those of you who don't are going to find out today. We have received our Warthog. Let's get on, because I don't trust the AI to drive for anything.
Okay, let's move
I mean, look at this. We can have random Marines, not even scripted characters, get on and use the gun and the passenger seat, going immediately from infantry squad combat into a vehicle section, and we can swap in and out of that at any time. It feels so nice to handle. We have to think about, like, okay, we want to go for the elites first, the leaders. They're the toughest, but if we take them down first, everybody else will flee. Like, everything is just so dynamic. You can kind of look at a firefight before you go into it and size it up and decide how you're going to take it. Once again, it's about being so complex while being so simple at the same time. And just look at these vistas. I mean, I'm playing on the Master Chief Collection, that's how I'm playing this on PC. Although I think the original did release on PC and not Mac, which kind of killed their prospects at gaming for a while, but I'm getting ahead of myself. This is epic. We can look around and, like, see our place on this Halo ring. The environment's so vast and varied, and with so much player freedom even while being relatively linear. Come on, I really need you guys to take on these elites before somebody throws a grenade. You guys are in a good position to do that. I'm gonna toss a frag out. And that was mainly your fault for not laying down enough suppressing fire. Your shields were down. That's the cool thing, is that in the elites, you kind of have an enemy that's on par with you, because they have shields and then their health, you have shields and then your health. But every enemy kind of has its own unique way that you deal with them. Like with these shackles, you want to shoot them from the gun so you bypass their shield, then they stagger, and then you can get them with a headshot. Now, I was a big player of like Halo 3 and Reach, so this is a little bit stiffer compared to those, so I'm not quite used to its gameplay. However, it still holds up even 24 years after it came out. Like, even for an older game, it still feels great to play.
Don't let them lock the doors.
On it. And if you do things right, an engagement can be really tough or really easy.
I underestimated the Covenant's understanding of Halo subsystems. They've locked the doors, and we don't have enough firepower to get through them.
Cortana to Keys.
Go ahead, Cortana. Have you found the control center?
Negative, Captain. The Covenant have impeded our progress. We can't proceed unless we can disable this installation's security system.
Understood. We're still en route to the objective. I may be out of contact when we get there. Here are your orders. I want you to use any means necessary to force your way into the facility and find Halo's control center. We have to get to the center before the Covenant. And failure, people, is not an option.
Echo 419 to ground teams. I'll stay on station and keep an eye out for Covenant bogies.
Second squad, ready to roll as soon as everybody's topside. LZ looks secure, sir. Nothing moving. Good luck, people. Keys out.
We need to find the security override to get this door open.
I love the use of military jargon and how they're actually present here in the gameplay, and how you can always get a larger idea of what everyone else is doing around you. It's not all dependent on you pushing through. You're always aware of the greater situation. I've always loved how Combat Evolved tells a story that is relatively small in scale. It's essentially Alien Black Hawk Down, where we're fighting this alien race, but we've both ended up stranded on this world created by a long extinct alien race that neither of us know much about. And so both of us are kind of in a disadvantaged position. And it still invites plenty of room for mystery. I've just always loved how there's like the dual layers of the war that's playing out in our time over the past like 20 years or so, and the greater story that's been playing out over millennia. Hey, you guys doing alright still? Well, one of you isn't, but I only need one of you to be a gunner, so you just got promoted, bucko. Get on. Does this Warthog not have a horn? Like, it's cool how you're working with the very limited resources of only those who have been stranded here.
It looks like there is a path into the interior of the island.
Yep. Hey guys! If only I had a gunner right about now. Well, now, right now we've picked up an enemy plasma weapon, and you want one of these because they're great for killing shields. So if we can find one of those elites, you there in the back. They tend to hang out in the back because even though they're the toughest, they don't want the group to lose cohesion. See, that guy's shields are already down, so now we can go for a pistol for the headshot. I'm just neglecting all these guys to do this. I'm just concerned about ammo. From that, you'll lose your shields quickly, and there we go. It's been so long since I played this. I was actually just playing Halo 4 for the first time since release earlier today. See, in Halo, you're always switching weapons, because it's really all about the right tool for the job. But it's not so restricted that you can't use anything for anything. Yep. Avoid that grenade. We went from this big bombastic opening, but inevitably we're the only one left. You guys are running back a fair bit. I have read, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've read that in the Master Chief Collection, the AI can be faster and more aggressive just because their behavior is in some way tied to frame rate. And this was certainly not meant to run at 120 FPS. We've got a pair of hunters. And these guys are only vulnerable from behind. Maybe we can just avoid them entirely? Later taters. We got some big, beefy melee as well. These guys. Oop. The Combat Evolved pistol is really quite great. I mean, they're good in all the games, but this one was like legendary. You could just like snipe people to death from across the map in multiplayer. But yeah, you see this? How I'm like just always changing weapons to do what I needed to. I cannot headshot these elites in this version though. I was kind of an expert at it in Reach. Okay. Oh, and I forgot, we also have health in this game. That was something that later games did away with. In later games, it was just shields. I think only ODST went back to it. I actually played ODST on the Patreon if you want to see me play that. But yeah, I'm running real low on all sorts of ammo, so I'm gonna have to take something from one of you guys. Oh wow, grunts aren't dying from melee. I mean, they are, just not as quickly as I would like. Okay, we need to pick up something, you know, better. Nothing here. Okay, plasma pistol will have to do. Down we go. Feels like a trap. Huh? Oh, there's the trap. We got a couple of hunters. Do you see how many different moods we've already cycled through? We had the aw yeah, a huge like mass assault airdropped in, fighting on a beach and taking vehicles all down the shoreline and mowing things down left and right. Going on our own and clearing through groups in the forest until finally, trying, at least, to stealth by enemies we cannot handle on our own. At least we've gotten by them.
Use the holo panel to shut down the security system. Good. That should open the door that leads into the main shaft.
Okay, you're a threatening thing for us to deal with.
Mayday! Mayday! Dropship Bravo 22 taking enemy fire! Repeat, we are under heavy fire and are losing altitude!
That's not good.
We're on our way.
Die. Okay. Charge it up. And punch him. Yep. Avoid these guys. And just leave. Really? No reason not to just leave. And am I really just like heading all the way back right now? Is that what we're doing? There's some badness over there. Although it looks like the hunters died of heart attacks in my absence. Yep, just get beaten to death, please. Yep. Quick slap to the hand was enough to take down jackals in this day. Ooh, assault rifle and a pistol. All I need to make the world go round. Look at all that ammo. Excellent. Oh, hey, it's our surviving allies. You know what? I was the kind of guy who would always reload if a Marine died. I don't have that luxury now since they already grenaded us over here, but the rest of you guys can make it. And just kind of chill on that beach for the rest of eternity, I suppose. Hey guys, yeah, you better try and dodge, but it ain't gonna work. It seems like they have repopulated this area. So tell you what, let's be a one-man army. Oh, there's hunters. Well, look, they were a little weaker in this game. Let's try and just light them up from here. Oh, that's not gonna go well for me. That's not gonna go well for me. Okay, I really need you to keep sucking and hope that those staggers can keep you from firing. It won't. Ew. I thought that was you killing me just there. Alright, so you will engage from that kind of distance. Salsa, sticky out. Oh, that actually got you. Bang. Like I said, they're a bit weaker in Halo 1, and we need to use that to our advantage. My experience with these guys, I did not expect you to go down that readily. Okay, how are we doing in here? Well, unfortunately, our other guy became a casualty, and a grunt has taken his place. Honestly, the more I play, the more I realize that every little thing about this was innovative. The way the map is, like, somewhat open, and the way everything is so persistent. The way the board is always changing as you go, so that the strategic situation that you keep hearing about actually feels like it matters. Alright, let's be ready to deal with the sword guy that I know is here, and who may or may not be cloaking. Let's watch our minimap on the bottom left, our alien-style motion tracker. Where are you at? A slap to the back is an instant kill. That was always one of my favorite features, and they made it so much better in Reach and Beyond. Having actual animations for takedowns. They just spotted me. Okay, well, let's start tearing into the little guys so that the big ones aren't such a threat then. Which is pretty much an inversion of my usual strategy, but my strategy before was just getting me shot a whole bunch. Okay, now as for you... Oh, I should have kept some plasma. Okay, let's keep that going until your shields are down. And headshot. That's the most efficient way you can do it. Okay, from there, it would be better to grab this over the assault rifle. You know what? And it's got the physics, too. Like, it really is wild that all this came out in 2001. But the further down we go, the more isolated we are, even from our allies. Although it looks like some of this did actually beat us to the punch. Come on, die. I don't want to be using so much pistol ammo on you guys. Ow! Oh my god, it's you guys! Alright, let's avoid them. Wow, this level is really throwing a lot of hunters at me. Just to avoid you guys. Jump down here, land here. And now we're good. Wonder how far they'll chase us.
Damn it. Okay, people, we got company coming. Let's set the table. Engage enemy forces on site.
It'll be easier to hold them off from inside the structure. Can you get inside?
Negative. They're closing in too fast. Negative. Chief, you gotta find the cartographer. We'll keep him busy as long as we can.
Give him hell, Marine.
We'll be in a tight spot if we don't get out of here before additional reinforcements arrive. Let's find that map.
And let's find that sword guy. Have you forgotten about him? Oh, I forgot. It used to have, like, traditional power-ups. No armor lock to be found here. Wow, you guys are really not reacting to anything. Stealth was actually nerfed in later games big time. There we go. Oh, they're everywhere, and they're nowhere. Yep. 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 Nope, need you to die. Need you dead. Wow, you're just like acting terrified of me. You could be doing real damage to me if you would actually hit me back. This would not work later on. Okay, but it seems like we've more or less cleared this place out. We've got a few freaked out grunts who no one will ever believe. But we're just here forging the legend of the demon. That's how we go.
There. That hollow panel should activate the map.
I've always felt really bad for grunts. I don't know, I think they're cute.
Analyzing. Hail Halo's control center is located there. That structure appears to be some sort of temple or shrine, if I've interpreted this correctly. Interesting. A shrine is an unlikely place to put such a significant installation.
Cortana to Captain Keyes.
The captain has dropped out of contact, Cortana. His ship may be out of range or having equipment problems.
Keep trying. Let me know when you've re-established contact, and then tell him that the Master Chief and I have determined the location of the control center. We'll be heading there as soon as we're topside.
Affirmative. Bowhammer out.
Look at that. There's still grunts sleeping with corpses on the ground right beside them. Oh, never mind. The epic guitar is in, so we are gonna have to kick it up a notch. Sorry, it's not my choice. The soundtrack wants what the soundtrack wants in these games. Oh, you guys are just flooding the place. Yeah, this place is mostly you, but hey, at least the hunters are gone, right? Oh god, I really hope the hunters are gone. Boom! Oh, I love it. Okay, you're extremely low. And you're right for headshots. Although honestly, it probably would have been faster just to finish killing you with the plasma rifle. Die. Die. Why even use ammo, right? Whoa, my god! Oh, they're right there. Never mind. They didn't despawn, I was just wrong about where they are. Well, that presents a pickle. I hope that those particles we're seeing are you guys damaging yourselves trying to hit me. Hey, look. We got 5 grenades. Yep. Okay, I can use this to bounce up and over. Yep. Yep. There's an elite over here somewhere. Yep. And I don't have time to care whatsoever. Well, there you are. Okay, well, that's a big deal for us. No time to switch weapons. Oh my god, that was hard. That guy would have been a one-hit kill. We would have gone flying, too. There was no time to switch to pistols on that one. But I guess we made it. Oh, and they also have this cool behavior where if an enemy is stuck with a sticky grenade, they'll try and use their last breath to lunge toward you. There's just so many cool little behaviors, but it's also reliable. It's not just like random things that you see every once in a while and you're like, oh, that's cool. You can plan around it. And it not only makes the enemies a lot of fun to fight, it makes them feel more alive. Oh, here they come! You guys not have shields? Boom. Oh, you don't have cloaking now. Come on, who's next? They don't just mindlessly rush at you. A lot of the time, they are smart enough to use cover, to use the environment, to try and flank you. We're out.
Let's get moving. Bowhammer, here are coordinates and a flight plan I've worked up.
Cortana, these coordinates are underground.
The Covenant did a thorough seismic scan. My analysis shows that Halo is honeycombed with deep tunnels, which circle the whole ring.
Look at that, they had a couple of guns pointed this way and everything. They could have easily just shot us down if they weren't cowards and abandoned their posts. Now they went and get the boss, but it's gonna be too little too late. Good throw. Yep. I was really hoping you'd walk in front of the door so I'd have time to assassinate you. There we go, let's just beat you to death. Settle for a compromise. Yep. Hello, enemy that was supposed to be on a platform. I've got your platform now. Like, all these levels are just so built for, like, running and jumping. And it's not even, like, a super fast-paced game. Halo is actually a surprisingly slow-paced game where you're supposed to put some thought into engagements. Yep. I don't know if that killed the elite or not. It did. It did. Wow, the area of effect on these things is actually pretty great. Like, it doesn't get enough credit for this. For the longest time, Halo had a reputation as the idiot's action game, and that couldn't be further from the truth because it is so well put together.
Covenant presence here is stronger than I anticipated. They seem to have the entire region secured.
You can always kind of use Covenant activity as a measure of what to expect going forward, because they always know something that you don't.
Interesting. The weather patterns here seem natural, not artificial. I wonder if the ring's environment system...
What just happened?
This is Fire Team Zulu requesting immediate assistance from any UNSC forces. Does anyone copy? Over.
I didn't think there were any reinforcements.
Cortana to Fire Team Zulu.
There's just so much wonder in the environments and, like, watching all this hardware go. Oh, you're breaking the glass. We can go up and down. It's a vertical, long bridge fight. Like, something that Halo games have always been exceptional at is the way they design their encounters, where the mechanics of the enemies are very simple, but the different permutations, and this is true for any FPS, the different permutations of enemy composition and the way they interact with the environment is what keeps every encounter feeling different. Where a big criticism for a lot of FPS games used to be like, oh, I'm just killing stuff in hallways. Halo made killing stuff in hallways feel good a lot of the time. Get to the gun. See that door opening. Oh, hey! Hey, what's up, bud? That went right between your legs. Hitbox is doing some great work here. Oh god, there might not be anything I can do about you at this point. Thank you, Pistol, for being you. Fling's not gonna help you now. Okay, well, if anything, that just highlighted the need for a plasma weapon. But I just can't give up the AR, it's just so nice. Yes, but what good does it do you? Now, as for you, I cannot see. Nope, you leave my buddies alone. I will snipe you from across the map, I don't even care. There we go. But there is a wraith in the distance. And I actually don't remember if you can be hijacked in this game. I think that might not have been a thing yet. I'm trying to anticipate where you'll be so I can deal with you. Of course, killing you makes things easier. I'm just trying to avoid the wraith hitting and destroying it. Yep. It's already in serious danger of that happening. And look at this, the ability to commandeer enemy vehicles. Look at how much the environments have changed just in the short time that we've been playing. Like, yeah, it's got its samey corridors, but it breaks them up with stuff like this, with stuff like we saw in the beginning. I mean, it's cool for a shooter that is primarily focused around the action, and very unique action. It's still able to have its sense of awe in all of it. In the environments, and in just watching your stuff go. I love seeing those pelicans flying around and dropping stuff off.
Glad you can make it to the party, sir.
Glad to be here. Oh, there are all kinds of good weapons here.
Wow, there he is.
And I don't want to give up mine, honestly. Sniper rifle could be good. Or the rocket launcher? I'm taking the rocket launcher. Let's go, guys. Actually, the usual strat would be to give it to one of these guys and let them be the passenger. That way you have infinite ammo rockets being launched out of your passenger seat. Don't worry about backblast. I mean, these guys are actually extremely useful if you put them to work in their areas of expertise.
Nice one. Over here.
Okay, well, you're about to be superseded. Right after we save the day. These controls are a little weird, though. Look at that destructive power. It is a long, long while between reloads. But this thing pretty much demolishes everything in its path, so who cares? Goodbye.
There's another one.
Goodbye. Thank you for playing, sirs. Look at that, we can even see health bars for the passengers. Not that that's going to help them much. Boom. Alright, that's all I particularly care about. Well, okay, I'm definitely going to kill this Wraith also. There we go. Oh no, you guys don't get to be hunters down there. What do you think this is? It's not gonna open.
Found. I see him.
Oop, come on, you can make it. Get on, guy. You deserve it. You fought through so much to get to us. There you are.
Get coffee now.
This machine gun's like not doing anything. But it hardly matters when we're launching hunters into the pit with ease. Come on. Get down there. Sniper guy is actually taking names. But where do you think you're going? Are you making a run for the turret? No way. We got motion tracker. I'm honestly amazed we're still alive after all that. Oh, and goodbye while we're at it. Goodbye. And goodbye. Scorpion levels were always extremely fun in these games because they're just pure power fantasy. I mean, if you thought you were ripping through everything before, wait until you see this thing. It only got more powerful as it went on. As cool as the rocket launcher is, I find it impractical in most levels across these games. You'll be alright here. But then again, so is this. Yep, there you go. There's your men. You train them well. They're carrying on the mantle without you. I mean, they seem to be taking a bit of attrition. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. You know what I've come to realize about older games is that if the art direction is on point, you up the resolution and frame rate and it'll look great in the modern day. Like, you don't need like a fancy graphics or RTX like remaster. Just that is enough. So I'm gonna be adopting a killing you focus model and then getting out of here to continue killing you ahead of my guys who will surely die without me. I feel this is a mutually beneficial solution that's great for the both of us. Anything down here? Some elites trying to hide. And failing. Ooh, you were trying to grab at me. You guys actually did cover me. Like I had some health left. Also, look how there's like little variations between them. I think the later games would expand on that, maybe even in this one, and make it so that the different colors and like armor types denote different roles. Always so satisfying. Every time. But I'm just kind of rushing through you guys. I don't really care for you. I think I've made my point with regards to what the game is like. Let's accept play. Wow, you know, the more I play this, the more I realize that a lot of Halo 3 was callbacks to Halo 1. Yep, you guys just kind of deal with that. Stickies are usually the best way to get out of a bad elite situation. And I'm just gonna come over here and wait for this to stop being an issue. Until those Banshees come back. And then it's a huge issue again. Yeah, just grind along there, that's fine for any aircraft. Yep. There goes one. Careful not to splatter your buddy on the way down.
This is it. Halo's control center. Terminal, try there.
You all right?
Never been better. You can't imagine the wealth of information. The knowledge, so much, so fast. It's glorious.
So, what sort of weapon is it?
What are you talking about?
Let's stay focused. Halo, how do we use it against the Covenant?
This ring isn't a cudgel, you barbarian. It's something else. Something much more important. The Covenant were right. This ring, it's Forerunner. Give me a second to access. Yes, the Forerunner built this place, what they called a fortress world, in order to... Wait. No, that can't be. Oh, those Covenant fools. They must have known. There must have been signs.
Slow down. You're losing me.
The Covenant found something. Buried in this ring. Something horrible. And now, they're afraid.
Something buried? Where?
The captain. We've got to stop the captain.
Keys?
The weapons cache he's looking for. It's not really... We can't let him get inside.
I don't understand.
There's no time. Get out of here, find keys, stop him. Before it's too late!
Transmission from the captain's dropship was from this area. That was over 12 hours ago. When you locate Captain Keyes, radio in, and I'll come pick you up.
And now we're once again being dropped from a Pelican, but this time alone. Crashed one over there. Glow sticks on the ground, distress calls going unheeded.
This is Covenant. Captain Keyes has been captured by hostiles. Dug in at a large structure in a swamp. Can hold out. Please. I will send this message to repeat at intervals. Dropship Victor 933 clear.
Relative quiet, darkness as a storm rages around us. A handful of enemies, but seemed panicking in the beginning. These aliens, which had been introduced to the audience as this unstoppable threat moving through the galaxy, and all we learn is that they found something here and they're afraid. This is the moment where, even for all of the innovation that it had already introduced, halfway through its runtime, after it's already absorbed you, this action sci-fi space marine shooter suddenly becomes a cosmic horror story. I mean, it always had elements of mystery, but now, something else altogether. One body shot from the pistol and one melee hit seems to do it. A lot of you guys are damaged already.
He's everywhere! Get back!
It seemed like there was ballistic gunfire coming out from here, but that's not what you were running from. The elevator just arrived empty. To match the storm raging outside, the structure itself is dark and empty. And that epic soundtrack has now left us. Now it's just the ambient sounds of the bass. Oh, hey guys! Waiting for the elevator? Still engaging in this action, but it feels different now. It's like they're not putting up a real fight. It's all just the little guys, and they break and try to run pretty much immediately when I engage them. Without the soundtrack encouraging us along, it feels a lot more like a massacre, and I don't know, this place feels so much more empty. Okay, you guys have fun with this. All these locked doors implying the facility is much larger than you would expect. Come on. You were already dead when I got here, and good lord, that is a lot of blue alien blood. Look at that, so many dead aliens upon arrival. It's dripping from the ceiling. You guys set up shop, prepared all these defenses, and yet none of your corpses are here, although there is blood on the ground that suggests you tried.
Stay back! Stay back! You're not turning me into one of those things! I'll blow your brains out! Get away from me! Ah! Ah! Don't touch me, you freaks! I won't be like you, I'll die first! Find your own hiding place, the monsters are everywhere! Play dead! That's what I did. Play dead. They took the live ones. Oh god, I can still hear them. Monsters! Ah! 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 Just leave me alone! Sarge, Mendoza, Vicente. Oh God, the things took them away, away, away. They went away. They're gone. Get it? Gone. They won't get me. Oh God, I don't want to be like them. Please, please no, please no.
I don't think we're getting through to you. He must be one of Key's crew. I'll leave you to it then. Look at this. Dead Covenant, bullet holes, which suggests a fight. But you wouldn't be talking that way about the Covenant. We've been at war with them for 20 years at this point. But I don't see anything. See, this is why I was talking about how important it is to show this level, not just for how creepy it is by itself, but for what's surrounding it, and for how abruptly it thrusts itself into the story. Looks like they put down the bridge in an effort to cross out the connection. That's all human blood. And one corpse.
Why do we always have to listen to this old stuff, Sarge?
Watch your mouth, son. This stuff is your history. It should remind you grunts what we're fighting to protect.
Hey, if the Covenant want to wipe out this particular part of my history, that's fine by me.
Yeah, better it than us. You ask them real nice next time you see them, Vicente. I'm sure they'll be happy to oblige.
LZ looks clear. I'm bringing us down.
Go, go, go! Stay close, Jenkins! Mendoza, move it up! Wait here for the captain and his squad, then get your ass inside.
Sir!
Okay, let's move!
Which is weird, right? I mean, look at it. Something scrambled the insides.
What's that? Plasma scoring?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was an accident, you know, friendly fire or something?
What do we have, Sergeant?
Looks like a Covenant patrol. Badass elite units. All KIA.
Real pretty. Friend of yours?
Nah, we just met.
Right, well, let's get this door open.
I'll try, sir. But it looks like these Covenant worked pretty hard to lock it down.
Just do it, son.
Yes, sir. I got a bad feeling about this.
Boy, you always got a bad feeling about something.
Sarge, can you hear me?
What's going on, soldier?
We've got contact, lots of them, but they're not Covenant. They're just tearing through us. What the? Oh no!
Corporal, do you copy? Over. Mendoza, get your ass back up to second squad's position and find out what the hell is going on.
But
I don't have time for your lip, soldier. I gave you an order.
Sarge, listen.
What is that?
Where's that coming from,
Everywhere.
Mendoza?
I don't... There! Mira!
Hold still! Hold still! Let him have it! Sergeant, we're surrounded. God damn it, Jenkins! Fire your weapon!
There are too many,
Don't
Sarge!
even think about it, Marine.
Oh, this is local!
Back here, Marine. That's an order.
Jenkins!
And we're standing right here in the aftermath. After all that time walking through here and just wondering what went on here that we missed, we see a recording of someone else who came in just before us and had just our experience. And it ended right where we are now standing, knowing that we are imminently about to deal with it. And as our motion tracker starts picking up contacts over the edge, we see just a tidal wave, a red wall, soon gives way to a green wall that we can see ourselves. An absolute tidal wave, a flood, some might say, of these creatures. And we can destroy a lot of them, but what do we do if they just keep coming? How are we? We need to start working on a way out of here. Keyes came over here because he had heard word of a weapon being stored here. Well, seems like they found it. And it's at a certain point you should ask, well, if these Forerunners that built all this were so advanced, what happened to them? Oh, here they come. Here they come from that direction. I'm out of frags. So Plasmas will have to do it. And there's something new. There we go. Oh. And here you see what happens when one of these smaller parasites manages to make its way to a human host. In other words, these right here, I believe, are the remains of Keyes and crew, the very same scared Marines we just saw on the recording. This has probably some of the best build-up to any segment in a non-horror game, because it takes its time, and it's in a game that just didn't know the meaning of the word slow up until this point. I mean, the best part of a horror story is always the lead-up, in my opinion, and what makes those work, in my opinion, is the fact that the characters don't know they're in a horror story until they're in the middle of it. What makes a section like this so effective is that this isn't a horror game, or at least it wasn't up until this moment. It's an amazing bait and switch, maybe one of the best in all of gaming. Here we see some Covenants still trying to hold the line, but I think what we need to do is just take advantage of the chaos to get through with our ammo intact. Just keep it going. The only thing that should be on our mind is this elevator, which has left us. So that's no good. There you go. Whenever they cluster up, drop an area of effect weapon in for big damage. Because where before it was all about smart tactics and prioritization of targets in battle, now it's about stemming the tide. Well, that's really bad. We are now stranded with this deep, deep below. So I guess we've now got to find another one. This soundtrack, by the way, this soundtrack that plays in the cutscene right before you find the video log, it's one of, in my opinion, one of the creepiest ambient tracks ever. It's that ominous drone of dread with just the occasional drum beat in the background. Every 7 seconds, I believe it repeats. I counted once because once you know it's there, you spend all this time just waiting for it. And when it takes that long, the anticipation somehow is like a mini amplifier to your fear. Playing. You guys have something that sort of resembles a head, and oh no. Getting bogged down is the absolute last thing we want! On higher difficulties, this is an absolute nightmare. I absolutely would have been killed by that. Come on. Get us out of here. And now, only as it's too late, we see that the walls of this elevator are absolutely painted with Covenant blood. We even see some blood forms that are taking Covenant, fighting alongside humans in some form, I guess. We really need to start laying down machine gun fire. The AR actually kind of shines more against these guys than anything else. They're starting to run low on grenades. And I'm fighting them because I figure they're going to catch up with me sooner or later, especially if we run into a dead end like that. Okay, can you give me invisibility for a time? That helps me a lot, and this does not. Thankfully, they still seem to need to see by visible light, or I would be in some trouble right now. Thankfully, we've got this suit to protect us from Flood infecting us. And it is an infection, a parasite. And we saw those things latching onto those Marines. Now, I don't remember how much what this is really comes across in this game, but this is probably one of the worst fates imaginable in all of fiction for those who are absorbed into this. And I think there's actually a novel that goes into it in greater detail. Die. Oh, you're not gonna work properly. Sneaking our way in these enclosed spaces is pretty much the most dangerous way we can deal with you. Especially once we start running low on assault rifle ammo. We could probably get it from some of the forms that used to be Marines. Wrong neighborhood. In some cases, maybe it's even better saving the ammo and just kind of mathing out how much my shields can tolerate from letting you explode on me. We are under attack by angry popcorn, and it doesn't help that this level is also a maze, and so you are just running around hoping a tidal wave doesn't overtake you. Well, okay, melee not super effective against you guys. Unless it's in just the right spot. Look at that, we can actually see. I've never gotten close enough to see, but we can see the humanoid-looking face there. A tortured expression of a person absorbed. Now, I've opted not to play this with the remaster graphics so that you can see this as it would have been experienced, well, albeit in higher resolution and frame rate. But it's important that you get, like, the look and feeling of all of this. Come on. No. Ah, we're down again. Okay, here's another elevator. Take us up. Guys, we need to move now.
We've been lost out here for hours. After we lost contact with the rest of the mission, we headed for the RV point, and then these things, they ambushed us. We gotta get out of here.
Yes, we do. Let's go. I'm honestly amazed that so many of you are alive.
100 meters from your current position. Find a way above the fog and foliage canopy, and I can move in and pick you up.
Alright, come on, guys. I hope you're good at Helldivers. Motion tracker picks them up even before we see them. I will do my best to keep you alive. Nope. Come on, move! I need you to... They're being integrated even as we watch. Looks like you're holding your own, sort of, but ones on the ground are starting to turn. You guys just go. I'm following your lead. I'm covering. Once again, I'm just trying to get rounds into the middle of them so that there's fewer of them to jump on my guys. You know what? Some might call that overkill. I would not. The whole motion tracker is just freaking out, and it's not lying either. That's not just there to scare us. There really are that many. I mean, I don't know if the Xbox version would have done this, but this is a truly ludicrous amount of things to have on screen at the time. And all the while, our party are being turned against us.
Don't stop shooting it!
Here they come. Look at this. This is all that's left out of everything we came with. What are you doing going over there? They're ahead of us as well. This whole thing is just an exercise in a long build-up of tension and then going from bad to worse. As we get back to the elevator, only to find it destroyed, making our way through the labyrinths with all of these things around, pouring out of every open doorway, and all of them were locked before. And then the next elevator starts going down. And then finally we get to the surface and find that they're all up here too. That containment is officially broken. Can we get up here? Howdy, you.
Greetings. I am the monitor of Installation 04. I am 343 Guilty Spark.
C-3PO, got it.
The flood. My function is to prevent it from leaving this installation, but I require your assistance. Come, this way.
Chief, I've lost your signal! Where'd you go? Chief! Chief!
We must collect the index before we can activate the installation. That's a good idea.
So you see how he went from like a hard sci-fi military shooter into something very horrifying and in this way very surreal really quickly. This level is infamous for whole different reasons, but it too is just an endless flood of flood. But I'm not going to be playing it because I'm just imagining it in my mind's eye, and I think I got the point across with the previous mission. Oh, hey, but we also just introduced you guys, the angry popcorn bags, who explode into lots of smaller angry popcorn, and they're everywhere, and everything's pouring in from all levels, and we just go around rings that look like this over and over again for about 6 to 8 hours, and that's this mission. But anyway, that was 343 Guilty Spark, and I spent the level trying to explain it and put it into the context of the time. But I think in a lot of ways it speaks for itself. A big part of what makes it so scary is not just that it's a horrifying level all on its own, but because it comes out of nowhere and really twists the genre. And it's not like it was a horror game that deliberately masqueraded as an action game for a while. It simply does both well and manages to introduce itself at a time where it changes the entire pacing of the story and really defines what Halo was going to be about. How even within what turns out to be the smaller story of a massive, galactic war, ends up being so much more of a cosmic horror story in the grand scheme of it, and that, even though you're not dealing with the Flood in every level from now on, the idea of that, the fact that you are so insignificant in all of this, and the knowledge that everything you've built can be destroyed so easily just hangs in the background of the entire rest of the franchise. That's how impactful this level is. If you weren't familiar with any of this before this video and what you've seen interests you, do yourself a favor and look into the Flood lore, because the Flood have got to be one of the most horrifying cosmic threats in fiction, if not the most. And the more you learn about them, from how hopeless it is to try and fight them, to what it's actually like to be integrated into this mass, this hive mind, you realize that it's a fate infinitely worse than death. It's even cooler because this being the first game in the series, it sort of introduces the Covenant as a similar threat, but they absolutely pale in comparison to the point where we see them fleeing in terror, pretty much annihilated even before we get here. And so even that is enough to make you uneasy as you make your way through these empty corridors. And it serves a real purpose in the story, not just so that we can talk about how great this was 25 years on, but because for the entire rest of the game, it is hammered into your skull that the Flood are bad news, and it uses them sparingly from here on out, but every time it feels like a nightmare. And it's all because of this start here. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.